Peace and blessings and namaste to all light warriors, workers, and everything in between. It is I, Sophie, today, and I know I have been MIA, but I'm in this reaping season right now, and I gotta, I just been on autopilot. Okay, that's the best way that I can describe it. This is the season now that we're getting our divine inheritances. You know, a lot of skills are becoming awakened in us, especially since this last new moon. A lot of you have been receiving new gifts, new downloads, and things. You're venturing into areas that was before uncharted territory, okay? But your ancestors are awakening some things in your DNA, and it's causing you to remember. So even with myself, I'm venturing into uncharted territory at this moment, and unfortunately it has caused me to do a lot of writing and a lot of back and forth, you know, back and forth. I'm creating and I'm writing. I'm creating and I'm writing. And it kind of has interfered a little bit with my my channel, but it is such an important thing to do. We have to remember that the gifts and the assignments that is given to us by source is for us alone. And even though I try to delegate it, it doesn't work. Okay, because they're not called to do it. So whatever gifts or whatever assignment was given to you, you have to be the one to implement it. Okay, I found out the hard way. You can't delegate that. Okay, you just can't, because it was given to you. All right. So now, what am I saying to you guys? About a week and a half, I'm going to reveal to you everything that I've been doing behind the scenes. And, you know, of course, those of you who I have emails addressed, we can get things participating, you know, you can participate in it. I'm welcoming you to participate in it, you know, but it's time to get this money. You know what I mean? Okay, and because we're in the season where a lot of things was taken from us, was stolen from us, we're getting it all back. The gifts that were taken from us, we're getting it all back. The finances that was taken from us, we're getting it all back. But we're not just giving it all back. We're getting it back times 10. Oops, before I forget. Shout out and thank you, King, to the one who have sent me a generous donation. I didn't know how to get in contact with you to formally say thank you, so I'm going to do it here in front of everybody. I want to thank you for your gift of love. Okay, just on GP, and I'm asking the universe to bless you with your donation times 10. Okay, thank you. All right, I just wanted to get that out of the way, and I would contact you personally, but you have to give me your email address, okay, and then I'll send you a nice little prayer and blessing for what it is that you sent to me. All right, now that was just a sidetrack. Let me get back on track. So I'm only doing this video right now, trying to make it very brief, because I get a lot of emails, okay? And some are legitimate questions. Others are like dummy accounts. You know, I can typically discern the energy from which one is what, you know what I mean? So, but I'm going to address them anyway. It's not going to stop me from addressing it, because maybe some of you are embarrassed, you know, about the emails. So you're creating these fake accounts. Who knows, okay? But what I do want to say is, one of the emails that I received recently, was stating to me that I was, well, they didn't come across that rude, but they were saying that they thought that I was teaching backwards. Okay, that in this day and age, all we had to do as light warriors and light workers was to exist, you know, and that our frequency would be, you know, the catalyst of us raising the vibration of the planet. All right, now, you just heard what I said. It's our frequency that is responsible for raising the vibration of the planet. This is only true if you're in the frequency with the planet. Okay, so I want to ask you a question. And this is just something that I want you to utilize your logic with too. Remember that I said, you know, we have to lead with the heart, but we have to process with the mind. And this is what keeps us balanced. The same thing that our ancestors have taught. The same thing that Yeshua had taught, you know. Wise as serpents, gentle as doves, okay? So you need to have some knowledge now. You just can't go and live off your heart chakra. You'll be screwed up, okay? You have to put these things into balance. So my question to you is, if the earth itself is ascending into 5D levels of consciousness, okay? 5D, if the earth itself is doing that, and you're operating in 3D, How are you going to make it? How? I'm going to say it to you like this. If you have a plug or a device that takes 40 watts and you try to insert it into a plug that takes 100 or sends out 120 watts, what do you think is going to happen to your device? Okay? This is for the scientific minds. What do you think is going to happen to your device? The truth of the matter is, our bodies, okay, our energy, our auric field, everything that's about us, we are made from the atmosphere that we were created in, okay? I'm going to say this again so we can kind of get this, okay? Your body is created based off the atmosphere that you are living in, okay? So case in point, those who do not have physical bodies might be hailing from a gaseous planet. Do you understand? Those who have different skin and cells like that is because they are made up, life is made up from the atmosphere in which they are created, okay? So if an earth is getting ready to ascend and transition, okay, everything about it, all right? The atmosphere, which may or may not be where those monoliths were showing up all over the place. I think it's a form of terraforming, but, you know, who's to say, right? I think it's a form of terraforming to get our bodies prepared for that ascension. Your bodies and everybody's bodies, different levels of consciousness, any sentient being, their genetic makeup is going to match the atmosphere of the planet that they are residing in. So therefore, if a planet itself is going to morph and change, you have to morph and change with it. The only way to do this, from principles all across the world, culturally, religiously, everything, is still dealing with your righteousness. That's the way that we ascend to higher levels of consciousness. Okay? Understand that those of us who have been taken care of all of our life, because I don't care, hell or high water, remember what it said in the Old Testament, okay? I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. Remember what it said in the New Testament. Unless your righteousness exceeds that of the Sadducees and the Pharisees, you're not going to make it. You're not going to inherit the kingdom. All right? So there is a nice little plan that is going out there to keep everybody thinking that all they have to do is just be. Okay, if that's the case, what kind of frequency are you putting out? If your frequency is the one that is going to ascend the planet to higher states of consciousness, and your frequency is a lower state of consciousness, how's the planet going to rise? Yes, it's true that we as a collective, our frequency can raise the consciousness of the planet, but it also can descend it. All right? So you have to understand that everything that you're putting out there is a reflection of you. So if you're in 3D consciousness, your reality is going to be in 3D consciousness. If you are in 5D consciousness, your reality is going to reflect 5D consciousness, and you're going to know that you're on the new earth. Okay? How was this done? How was this done? Okay? So I asked this question back in like either 2020 or 2021. And I was saying, okay, we're going to a new earth. How are we going to do this? What I saw, I'm going to tell you the images that I saw. And you can discern it one way or the other. It may have been symbolic, allegorical, or it may be exactly what it is. But what I ended up seeing was carbon copies. All right? Like as time was going on, as time, little by little, your reality was being carbon copied onto another realm of existence. The buildings, the cities, all of that was being copied, so that when you make this jump, you're not really going to notice it because your surroundings are still going to look familiar to you. It's the same because it's being copied. However, you're going to know that you made it because the people around you are going to have different levels of understanding and consciousness. They're not going to be the same. You're not going to be surrounded with a bunch of drama, a bunch of envy, a bunch of competition, a bunch of mess, gossip, slander, all of that stuff. You're not going to have it around you. You're going to notice that the people that you are meeting are just like you in different phases. Some just awakening, some higher. Some have been in this journey, but you're going to start gravitating and pulling to yourself your soul team, your tribe. Okay? And when you start getting your tribe, that's when you really can take off, because you have that support system now. All right? It doesn't mean that what you're called to do, you can pawn it off on everybody. You're still going to be the one to do it. You are. Okay? This is your soul contract. This is what you said you were going to do when you came here to the earth, right? So you can't pass it off. But you can also use your friends and family and those that are coming to you and is being drawn to you as levels of support. There's always been strength in numbers, yes. But what's more powerful than that is intention. Okay? Intention is powerful, the most powerful out of numbers or any of that. Knowing who you are and what you sit in. Okay? Righteousness, righteousness, righteousness. Knowing how to process information. Remember, I said, we lead with the heart, we process with the mind. You have to balance these things out. You just can't be swayed this way and that way, okay? The ancestors are here, and they're living through you. They're living through us, okay? And it's really a beautiful thing to see, honestly, if you can grasp these concepts. What I'm working on right now is really going to break down a lot of these things, and it's going to be open to you guys, okay? It's not just about seeing my face and hearing me talk all the time. It's about giving you solid information for you to study on your own. I don't want to do the thinking for you. Remember, I told you that. But I want to give you the tools that you need to think for yourself so you can navigate these dimensions with ease. All right? I'm not saying it was easy for me. I spent this morning crying with a sister, just explaining to her about how I had to go and cleanse out a lot of things, that was hurting me from childhood. How I had to face my demons. How I had to release and let go, in order for me to survive. And not only just survive, but thrive. Okay? We're not here just to survive. We're here to thrive. Those gifts, those talents, those skills that have been given to you since you was a child, what are you doing with them? I run across a lot of people that have anger issues, depression issues. And the real reason why you feel depressed is because you know that you're not doing what you want to do. Your soul is not happy. And so your world looks glim. And many of us stay trapped in this simply because we have bills to pay. So we end up taking jobs instead of taking that leap of faith. Okay? We end up settling for something that's less than us instead of standing up for ourselves and getting what we deserve. And it's all based on fear of how we are going to survive. Those of us who are co-creator with the divine, you should never have any fear. If you were called to do it, if your soul told you to do it, if that was your contract, you have no other choice but to be successful. Do you understand? It makes no sense to contract to come onto this earth realm and fail. But you just have to believe in yourself that you can do the things that was given to you or gifted to you. You have a huge responsibility, chosen ones. The ones of you that are on this new earth. We have to prepare because there's others coming. What are they going to go to? Chaos? Helter-skelter? Confusion? We're not the author of confusion. Okay? We have to balance things out so that there could be a smooth transition for our brothers and sisters who are not here yet. And don't ever forget to still pray for them, their awakening, their transition. Don't ever get caught up on what you see on the news and media. All right? Those things may be happening, but it's not happening on your realm. You're called to create this realm, to co-create this realm. All right? If you need to find yourself watching these things, it's for you to pray about it. But don't get wrapped up in it, because the moment you get wrapped up in it, you're going to be snatched. Okay? Do you understand? Also, I've had some also, contact me, and they were maybe concerned about their relationships, their husband, their wife, their spouse. Let's say spouse, okay? And there may have been a love for like 10, 15 years, even longer than that, right? And they're finding that while you have awakened, it's slowly pulling apart. Like you're arguing over things that are petty, you know what I mean, that you shouldn't be arguing with. There's a coldness, there's a disconnect, it's not sitting well with you anymore. You don't understand why. It's tough being a chosen one. It is. Because there are things that you're going to have to let go. And if you don't let go, you're going to be forced to let go of it. And if you reject that, then you just sit with the reality that you created. Okay? Those of you who need that beautiful reality, that love reality, that harmony, because we understand that we are coexisting on this earth with different species, different levels of consciousness, different star seeds, different sun seeds. Okay? We are coexisting with others who are not like ourselves. But if you can't find it in your heart to be harmonious with people who are not like you, then you need to not be here, okay? Because this is a joint collaboration. I told you early on, the kingdom of darkness thrives off of competition. The kingdom of light thrives off of collaboration. There's a difference. The reason why we can collaborate is because we have the understanding that no two individuals are exactly alike. And everybody has something beautiful to bring to the table. The kingdom of darkness has to thrive off of competition because it's too much envy. They don't have the understanding that we can all coexist and stay in our own lanes. The kingdom of darkness wants you to compete for a lane that might not even be yours, and therefore you won't be successful in it. All you're doing is holding your own self back, when instead you should be going forward in what it is that you're called to do. With ease. With ease. Okay? I am writing these things during this time. I am. And I am going to teach you how to transmute your reality and how to get off of these timelines. Okay? Because ultimately, that's what I was here to do. To help you guys perfect your understanding so that you can move and navigate these realms and go home. The last of my charge was I had to leave a memoir. So there's another delay. I'm so ready to go home, I can't stand it. But I don't want to leave anybody else either, so I want us all to kind of go home, together. So I'm in that little weird position right now, where my human nature is saying, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Screw you guys. In Cartman voice. Screw you guys. I'm getting him. And then I had my righteous side that was like, oh, no. We rise together. And that's what I'm going to lean towards, okay? I'm going to lean towards that one, okay? And keep these things going. I'm very happy, during this time with the things that are developing, in my life, and the patience that I had to endure to get here. And that's just me encouraging you to still stand strong. I don't care what it looks like, okay? I don't care what it looks like. If you have gotten to a point where you have been released, that you are sovereign, that you are operating as a logos, this is during the time where you need to be co-creating what it is that you need in your life. And you have to step out there. Okay? Now, for the couples that is going through those issues, getting back on track, I apologize. If I could stop it, I would. I have prayed for a lot of you, because I am one that believes in keeping the family structure together. But at the same time, I know that sometimes we do things on our own and we ignore the signs of the universe. And when we do those things, we end up getting the backlash of it. You have to figure out, and remember, I'm not the one that's ever going to try to tell you what to do, okay? Because I tend to not want to deal with matters of the heart like that, and I tend to not want to ever tell anybody this is not going to work for you, or this is going to work for you. That's not my business. I can only give you the clues to help set you on the journey so that you can start thinking for yourself and reevaluate your entire situation. But I will leave you with this, because I gotta go. I will leave you with this. If you are vibrating here, okay, and the person that you are with are vibrating here, your spirit or your strength on this level has to be stronger than the one on this level to be able to raise them up to that consciousness and still walk in peace. Sorry about that. Okay? On the flip side of that, if the person that is here has a stronger spirit than the person that is here, surely you're going to be dragged down. That's just how it is. Okay? You have to be on the same vibration as the person that you are on. And if you are not, the person that you're with, if you're not on the same vibration, your spirit has to be strong enough to withstand the pulls of the lower. If it is not, you are going to be dragged down. Now, what happens when they're equal? Equal in power, equal in strength, but on two different sides of the tracks, right? What you're going to experience during that time is stagnation. Okay? Power only concedes when matched with equal or higher power. That's just how that goes. So if you're matched and you find yourself in a power struggle, what you're going to end up manifesting is stagnation, because it's constantly bouncing off one another. You can't pull it to the left, you can't pull it to the right, so that's all that's going to happen. If you do get ahead and this one that's lower than you is in opposition, everything that you build is going to be snatched away. Just as fast as you get it, is just as fast as it's going to be taken from you. You're the one that has to figure out, by looking at your life, looking at the trends on what is healthy for you and what is not. I'm not going to tell you. I'm sorry. Okay? I don't like to get in business like that. I just don't. Because let me tell you what happens. And those of you who are counselors, you know this to be true. If you do see catastrophe and you warn that person, maybe you need to walk away. Right? If things start going good, you're going to be the target. Do you understand? On the flip side of that, if you say, oh my God, this is the love of your life, you need to stay with them, and things start going bad, you're going to be the target too. All right? So don't get involved with that, okay? Let people make their own choices, their own decisions. That's the best way that you can go, by telling them to go within and figure these things out, all right? So, once again, thank you, my brother, okay? I'm going to do another video, I think, after everything is finished, so that I can give you instructions on what it is that we're doing, what you need to do, how we can participate, where you can get the knowledge from, all of that. But that's coming in a later video. You're going to have to give me some time. I just checked in to let you know that I'm not MIA, and I am responding to your emails. I am reading them, okay? I am reading these text messages too. But I want you to be okay. All right? I want you to know that everything is working for your favor, in your favor, okay? If you're in a season of the dark night of the soul and you're losing everything and everything is crashing and burning all around you, good. It might not look good to you, but in order for you to be somebody new, you have to destroy the old. You see? And that, my friend, is the art of transmutation. Just knowing what's going on around you and how to work it in your favor. Okay? I am Sophie. I love you all. Bye.